All right, welcome to this quick video on timecode setup for the Mac. Up above, you'll see a link to the video that we did regarding the PC setup for Reaper and timecode and ETC Eos and timecode setup like on a Nomad. And so this is the Mac version. It's going to be a little bit shorter to see everything about macros and processes. The link up above will be to the playlist that has lots of stuff, everything from like a long live stream as well as some smaller segments as well. And so the first thing to do is to launch this. This is the Apple MIDI setup tool. It comes installed on your Mac. You can use Spotlight search or look through the application or any of the various ways people use to launch or get to their applications. But what you're looking for is this Apple MIDI setup utility. From here, we'll go Windows. And then under Windows, I already have it open, but you'll go Show MIDI Studio, which is here. Into here, you'll see the IAC driver. It's red. Mine will be, yours will be pink. But if you double click on this, it opens up this window. And all you need to do is click this device is online. So I'll close it so you can see that's what it looks like normally. I'll double click it and I'll make the device online. You can rename it if you want, but I'll leave mine named with the default. This shows a couple of other interfaces that I've got hooked up. I've got my Scarlett, which I'm using to record audio. In another video, I use a Volt and a Yamaha DM7. So any of your MIDI devices will show up in here. There's no need for a third-party loopback software like you do on the PC. In the PC, we use a software called Loop MIDI, but Mac has it built in, which is really nice. So we'll go ahead and close it. The one thing I'll say that is important is that you'll need to do that step before you launch either Reaper or EOS. And so both EOS and Reaper should be closed when you first set that MIDI interface up in the Apple MIDI utility. And then after that, then you can open up these softwares. Here's Reaper. I'm just going to open a new project so that we're starting here from scratch. And then do this. And we'll just drag in an audio track here that we're going to use to have an audio track. And then I'm going to go insert new audio track, which gives us a second audio track. From here, I'm going to choose SMPTE, LTC, MTC timecode generator. And just a reminder, this is just a quick overview. For the full details on what settings and why settings, go ahead and check out the PC video that I've got linked down in the description as well. So I'm going to right click on this. And as you saw, let me do that again here. Right click on this, you'll see. So maybe I'll back up. I inserted the SMPTE, LTC, MTC. You see it here. Depending on where your playhead is, that may not be centered. So I'm going to drag those both back to the beginning. I'm going to click Source Properties, and that brings a new pop-up up here. And then from here, I'm just going to choose MTC for Send MIDI. And then from here, now I've got to set this up to route the MIDI. So the first thing I'll do is I'll go under Options on the Mac and Settings, or Command comma if you're used to that shortcut. Under here, you'll see under the list of all the options, there's one called MIDI Outputs, and you'll see all of my interfaces here. ID really doesn't matter for what we're doing here. I'm just going to see my Apple IAC driver. That would be named whatever you did if you renamed it. I'm going to click on Enable, and you see it puts a little tick mark there, and I'm going to click OK. And then on this version of Reaper, which is 7.34, you've got this route option here. So I'll click on Route. And it says, which hardware do you want to route to? And I'll say there's the Apple IAC. And if you don't see anything in this list, just make sure you, on that prior window, you clicked Enable and OK. And that's what makes it show up here. So we're set here. Now we'll go into EOS. And again, I've already opened this up. This is actually a show file that has the timecode macros. You can find that in our playlist and the link down below. But as far as this setup goes, I will go into Displays or F9. I'll go under Setups and Device Settings. Under Device Settings, we will go under Show Control. And under Show Control, it shows all of the MIDI devices that EOS sees. If you don't see that IAC driver in here, it means you probably had it open before you added that driver. So you might just have to close it and reopen it to get this to present. And you don't even have to go close all the way out. You just have to go back out to the shell and load back in. We are running in offline mode, so this even works in offline mode. So you'll see all the listed devices here. I'm going to go through and make sure I disable my other RX devices. And so the only RX I want here is the IAC. And if you don't see that grayed out, you might see if I click this, it says USB MIDI disabled. And it presents at least to EOS as a MIDI device or USB MIDI device. So just click that and that brings that back in. And we might even disable transmit if we don't need it. And we can, so you can see how these flags change things. So if you're seeing disabled, just go through here, make sure that we are enabling the right set, which is local and USB. And now we can see that we've got that IAC is enabled and it's source 1. From here, I believe the default should be fine, but if I go under System, and then under System, I go under Show Control, and under Show Control, I go under MIDI. We want to make sure under MTC that the MIDI timecode RX is enabled. I think that is on by default, but if not, you might just pop in here and make sure that that is set since you're in here already. From here, I'll go back and press my live button or F1, and then I'll type tab 11. Tab 11 is our show control. And then I've already got this list set up, so I'll just delete this so that we're starting clean. So I'll delete list 5. I'm going to go 6/ and then let's go ahead and label it. So we're going to call this MIDI Reaper test. So we've labeled that. The default type comes in as SMPTE, so I'll just click on that. And then down on my soft keys, I'll click timecode and press enter. And so the source is 1, which is what we match in the setup. And then I'll turn external on because I want to source external timecode. And then we're going to leave all these at the default. And now even with that up, I'm going to open up Reaper. I'm going to slide this down just a little bit so you can kind of see the timecode there in the background. And if I hit play, so you see a timecode coming in. It also stopped when this came to the end, and that just has to be, that's the track on how it was initially set. And so within Reaper, if we sit here and we scroll this out, that's a long track. And I take this and I bring that timecode track, the generated timecode track, out to the same length of the song. Now we're going to be good, and I can even pick up from wherever. You'll see this jump ahead as well. And there we have it. So you can see that it tracks along just fine. And there you go. That's how simple it is to set up a loopback interface on a Mac using Reaper and ETC Eos. Of course, there are different ways to do it, but this is just the companion to our Reaper video for timecode, for programming timecode for events offline. Do watch the video that we have. We have a long, hour-long live stream that goes through just kind of cradle to grave a lot of the tips and tricks I've used. We even bring in the Hamilton show just for fun and timecode with that. And there you go. If you have questions, please put them below in the comments, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.